Hello and thanks for joining us on our live coverage of the by-elections and the court-ordered rerun elections taking place in about 26 states and 80 local governments across the country. These elections would also be spread across 8,934 polling units in 575 registration areas across the country. According to INEC, about 4,613,291 Nigerians have their permanent voter cards in these places where voting will take place across national and state assembly elections. The INEC chairman had earlier said the commission is ready for the exercise, with security measures already concluded for a smooth electoral process. These by-elections are to fill vacancies left by members who either passed away or resigned from the national and state assemblies following directives from the election appeal tribunals. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, provided insights into the scope of these elections. The electoral landscape includes 9 states where 2 senators, 4 members of the House of Representatives, and 3 members of state houses of assembly will be elected. The elections are poised to address vacancies in 3 senatorial districts, 17 federal constituencies, and 28 state constituencies. While the affected states are Ebonyi State in southeast Nigeria, Yobe in the north, Kebbi, Lagos State, Ondo, Taraba, Benue, Borno State, Kaduna, Plateau, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Cross River, Delta, Enugu, Jigawa, Katsina, Adamawa, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Kano, Nasarawa, Niger, Oyo, Sokoto, and Zamfara states. Well, our reporters are scattered across different locations in the country monitoring these election, by-election, and court-ordered rerun election taking place in Plateau State. That's where we'll start. We have our correspondent, Sifon Essien, standing by. Well, in that state, the political storm seems to have settled after the Supreme Court affirmed the election of Governor Muftwang. Well, we'll join Sifon Essien now to give us live update on the situation in that state. Oh, well, it appears Sifon Essien is not ready now. Well, we'll move on to other stories, but as soon as we get Sifon, he's going to join us to bring us up to speed with the situation in Plateau State as registered voters line up to cast their ballot in the court-ordered rerun election and by-election. Well, let's go to Lagos State, where the State Police Command says the restrictions of vehicular movement would only be limited to affected election areas in the Surulere Federal Constituency 1. The command said that movement within Surulere Federal Constituency 1 would be restricted between 12 a.m. and 6 p.m. when the exercise is expected to have been completed across the polling units. This clarification by the command spokesman, Benjamin Hundain, comes barely 24 hours after the IGP, Kayode Egbetokun, placed restrictions on movement across the 26 states where by-elections and rerun poll will be held today. In a short statement released on Hyundai's official media handle, he says there is no restriction of movement in other parts of the state where the Independent National Electoral Commission did not schedule election to hold. According to the statement, which he titled Clarification, he says, in the forthcoming by-election in Lagos State, restriction of movement is applicable only in the election area, which is Surulere Federal Constituency 1. Well, moving on now, some parts of the northeast, southeast, and southwest geopolitical zones in Nigeria received election materials without a hitch due to the collaboration between the Independent National Electoral Commission and the Nigerian Air Force. The electoral umpire and the Nigerian Air Force met to ensure the safe airlifting of election materials over the course of the week. Our correspondent, Uloma Oyemachi, reports.
According to the INEC chairman, the commission will conduct by-elections and rerun elections in 26 states of the Federation. In 9 states, 2 senators, 4 members of the House of Representatives, and 3 members of state houses of assembly will be elected in by-elections to replace members who passed on or resigned their memberships of the national and state assemblies.
The elections will fill vacancies in 3 senatorial districts, 17 federal and 28 state constituencies spread across 80 local government areas, 575 registration areas or wards, and 8,934 polling units.
The chairman emphasized the need for collaboration with security agencies, which is why this meeting with Nigerian Air Force is very important.
Given the size and distance of some constituencies, we seek the support of the Nigerian Air Force to expeditiously deliver materials to 3 locations in the northeast, southeast, and the southwest geopolitical zones of the country.
Air Marshal Abubakar is a fellow.
On his part, the Chief of Air Staff appreciated the visit and commended the activities of the Commission. The Air Force Chief says democracy is crucial, which is why they are committed to ensuring a hitch-free election.
The relationship has been anchored on our shared objectives, which are geared towards ensuring that good governance, stability, and rule of law are entrenched throughout our dear country. We therefore see this visit as a commitment by the Commission to ensuring that the bonds between the 2 organizations are further strengthened.
The Independent National Electoral Commission and the Nigerian Air Force have stated that collaboration and synergy is key in achieving success in the upcoming Saturday election. And the Nigerian Air Force says it is committed to keeping its end of the bargain by protecting and securing election materials, officials, and the electorate. Uloma Oyemachi, TVC News, Abuja.
Well, indeed, elections in Nigeria are a multi-stakeholder responsibility. Now looking at this collaboration between the electoral umpire INEC and the Nigerian Air Force. We've also seen collaborations between INEC and the Central Bank of Nigeria for the safekeeping of our sensitive election materials and also distributions across areas where elections will be held. Well, joining me now live in the studio is TVC News Chief Political Correspondent and Abuja Bureau Chief to talk about these elections happening across senatorial districts, federal constituencies, and state constituencies in the country. Ayodele Ozungbaku, welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, well, there's no particular time now for elections in Nigeria. It appears we're having elections year in, year out because of how the whole electoral calendar has been distorted with all of